The air hung thick with the scent of coal smoke and anticipation in the autumn of 1919. Boston, a city already steeped in its rich baseball history, buzzed with an unusual energy. The whispers had begun weeks earlier, carried on the wind whipping off the Charles River and rustling through the leaves of Back Bay. Babe Ruth, the Sultan of SWAT, might not be traded. The unthinkable was becoming a possibility. For months, the rumors of a trade to the New York Yankees had been as persistent as the Red Sox's frustrating inconsistency on the field. Harry Frazee, the Red Sox owner, a man whose theatrical flair often outshone his business acumen, was desperately in need of cash. His financial woes were a well-known secret, whispered in hushed tones among the city's elite and shouted from the bleachers of Fenway Park. The Yankees, flush with cash and hungry for a star, had made an offer, a substantial one, enough to potentially solve Frazee's immediate problems. But within the Red Sox organization, a silent rebellion was brewing. Manager Ed Barrow, a man known for his shrewdness and calm demeanor, saw the potential loss of Ruth not merely as a financial setback, but as a catastrophic blow to the team's morale and future. He had witnessed firsthand the devastating effect of Ruth's power at the plate, a force of nature that could single-handedly change the course of a game. Losing him would be akin to losing the very heart of the team. He argued passionately with Frazee, his words laced with a quiet urgency that even the flamboyant owner couldn't ignore. Then there was the team itself. The players, many of whom had played alongside Ruth for years, shared an unspoken loyalty to him. They had seen his dedication, his raw talent, and the almost mystical connection he had with the game. They knew what Ruth meant to the Red Sox, not just as a player, but as a leader, a symbol of their collective identity. The thought of him in pinstripes, playing for their rivals, was almost unbearable. The fans, too, felt a visceral connection. With Ruth, he wasn't just a baseball player. He was a Bostonian, a symbol of the city's grit and determination. He represented the city's hard work ethic, the pride of its underdog spirit, all expressed with his legendary power at the plate. His booming home runs were more than just sporting events. They were communal celebrations, moments of collective joy and triumph shared across the city. The idea of losing him felt like a betrayal, a severing of a deep-rooted bond. The tension in Boston reached a fever pitch as the days dwindled. The city held its breath, its collective heart pounding in sync with the rhythm of the approaching decision. Newspapers carried daily updates, their headlines screaming the latest developments. Radio broadcasts crackled with speculation, and even the quiet corners of the city's pubs hummed with the quiet tension. Finally, the announcement came. A terse press release from Frazee's office. The trade was off. Babe Ruth would stay in Boston. The response was immediate and electric. A wave of joyous relief swept through the city, a spontaneous outpouring of collective gratitude and exhilaration. The streets erupted in celebration, a cacophony of horns, shouts, and the triumphant ring of church bells. Fenway Park, usually a scene of controlled excitement, transformed into a chaotic yet jubilant sea of humanity, a swirling vortex of hats, flags, and elated fans. Ruth himself was understandably surprised. While he had enjoyed his time in Boston, the lure of New York, a city teeming with opportunity and excitement, had certainly been tempting. But more than that, he had quietly respected the deep sense of loyalty his Red Sox teammates had displayed towards him, a loyalty that had become clear in the weeks leading up to the anticipated trade. The news, when it finally arrived, filled him with a quiet sense of pride and validation. His teammates greeted him with boisterous cheers and backslaps. The air crackled with a renewed sense of purpose and unity, a shared determination to prove to the world that the Red Sox had made the right decision. The unexpected turn of events had forged a stronger bond among them, a collective identity bound by a shared experience and a shared victory. Boston, in turn, exploded into a whirlwind of celebrations. The unexpected retention of its beloved Babe Ruth, a man who had already started to capture the nation's imagination, created a unique sense of identity. The city's reputation as a baseball town rose to unprecedented heights. The atmosphere in Fenway Park during those early 1920s seasons was electric, a potent mix of patriotism, local pride, and the electric energy generated by the Sultan of Swat. The crowds grew, the cheers roared louder, and the legend of Babe Ruth continued to unfold, not in the bright lights of New York, but under the iconic lights of Fenway Park, where he belonged. The subsequent years would witness Ruth's continued dominance. He wouldn't just be a star. He would become the brightest constellation in the baseball galaxy, a legend of such magnitude that it would forever reshape the very landscape of the game and his city. The curse of the swap that never was took root in the Bronx, a curse of lost opportunities and unrealized potential, a constant reminder of what the Yankees had missed, of the legendary player who had slipped through their fingers, solidifying Boston's position as the true heart of baseball, at least in this altered timeline. The unexpected turn of events in 1919, the decision to keep Babe Ruth in Boston, had not just reshaped the fate of one baseball team, but the fate of an entire city and, arguably, the very fabric of the game. The next few years would more than prove the wisdom and luck of that decision. The 1920 season dawned bright and crisp in Boston, a city still buzzing from the collective sigh of relief that had followed Frazier's surprising decision. Babe Ruth, unshackled from the looming shadow of a trade, stepped onto the field with a newfound confidence, a swagger that seemed to radiate outwards, electrifying his teammates and the expectant crowd. Fenway Park, already a cauldron of baseball fervor, felt charged with an almost palpable energy. His first at-bat was electric. The crack of the bat sent a tremor through the stands, the ball arcing high into the sky before descending in a graceful parabola, landing far beyond the right field wall. A roar, primal and untamed, erupted from the packed stands, a sound that would become the signature soundtrack of Ruth's Boston years. This wasn't just a home run, it was a declaration, a statement of intent. It was a promise of the spectacular seasons to come. The early games of the season were a masterclass in hitting. Ruth's prodigious power wasn't merely about distance, it was about precision, a calculated demolition of baseballs that left pitchers baffled and demoralized. He seemed to anticipate the pitch before it even left the pitcher's hand, his swing a symphony of perfectly timed power. He hit to all fields with equal ease, his shots a mesmerizing blend of laser-like precision and brute force. One game against the Philadelphia Athletics stands out in particular. The A's, a formidable team, were holding the Red Sox to a narrow 2-1 lead going into the late innings. The tension was palpable, a taut rope stretched between hope and despair. With 2 outs and a runner on second in the bottom of the 8th, Ruth stepped up to the plate. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation. The pitcher, a seasoned veteran known for his control, delivered a fastball. The crack of the bat reverberated through the stadium, the sound amplified by the hushed expectancy of the crowd. The ball sailed high above the right field wall, carrying with it the hopes of a city, a tour on Homer. The Red Sox went on to win, and the city erupted in celebration. This game, like so many others that season, became a legend recounted in hushed tones in Boston pubs for years to come. The effect of Ruth's presence extended far beyond his individual statistics. His infectious enthusiasm, his almost childlike joy in the game, spread like wildfire throughout the team. He was a natural leader, not through dictatorial pronouncements but through his actions, his unwavering commitment, and his unquenchable passion. He took young players under his wing, mentoring them not just in baseball but also in life. The camaraderie among the Red Sox players that year was remarkable. Their shared experiences, their collective determination, and their unwavering loyalty to each other and to Ruth were palpable. This was more than a baseball team. It was a brotherhood, forged in the crucible of competition and cemented by the unifying presence of their star player. The team's performance that year reflected this unity, a cohesive force whose collective strength surpassed the sum of its individual parts. Ruth's impact wasn't limited to the baseball diamond. His growing popularity extended throughout the city of Boston, transforming him from a beloved baseball player into a true civic icon. His name appeared on billboards, newspapers, and even in the city's burgeoning radio broadcasts. He became a symbol of Boston's resilience, its grit, its unwavering determination. His booming home runs were more than just sporting spectacles. They were communal celebrations, moments of shared triumph, shared pride, and collective joy that resonated throughout the city. He was often seen mingling with fans, signing autographs, and engaging with the city's inhabitants. He became a familiar face, a comforting presence, a symbol of the city's heart. His charitable contributions, often made anonymously, further cemented his position as a cherished figure in the community. The newspapers chronicled his every move, each home run becoming a front-page headline. The stories weren't just about his statistics. They were about his character, his humility, his unwavering commitment to his team and his city. The press, initially skeptical of his immense power, now sang his praises, recognizing not just the talent, but the man behind it. His image graced countless postcards, souvenirs, and advertisements, his silhouette becoming as recognizable to the Bostonian as the city skyline itself. The 1921 and 1922 seasons saw Ruth's dominance continue unabated. He became a legend not only in Boston, but throughout the country, his exploits recounted in newspapers and magazines across the nation. He shattered records, redefined expectations, and forever altered the landscape of baseball. Yet even with the fame and recognition, he remained grounded, never forgetting the importance of his team and his city. He frequently engaged with younger players, sharing his knowledge and experience. He was an elder statesman on the field, an inspiring leader. It was through these acts of mentorship, as much as through his on-field prowess, that Ruth's influence extended far beyond the confines of Fenway Park, shaping the futures of many young players who would, in turn, become stars themselves. These years saw an unprecedented surge in attendance at Fenway Park. Crowds swelled, filling the stadium to capacity night after night, eager to witness the spectacle that was Babe Ruth. At bat, the atmosphere was electric, a heady mix of anticipation, excitement, and the almost palpable sense that something historic was unfolding. The air would crackle with energy, the sounds of the crowd a constant backdrop to the crack of the bat, and the soaring trajectory of another home run. The cheers were deafening, a joyous cacophony that resonated across the city and beyond, capturing the national imagination and forever embedding the legend of Babe Ruth in the heart of baseball. Lore, his impact on the Red Sox went far beyond wins and losses. He instilled a sense of belief, a shared identity, a spirit of camaraderie that transformed the team into a cohesive unit, far greater than the sum of its individual parts. He didn't just play baseball, he inspired, he united, and he left an indelible mark on a city that had chosen to believe in him, and whose faith had been handsomely rewarded. The early 1920s, in Boston, was undeniably the Ruth era. The city, the team, the game itself, all were forever changed by the Sultan of Swat's unexpected and ultimately glorious decision to stay. Fenway Park in the early 1920s wasn't just a ballpark. It was a crucible, a cauldron of raw energy where the legend of Babe Ruth was forged and refined. Its unique dimensions, a quirky blend of intimate closeness and surprising vastness, played a pivotal role in shaping the Sultan of Swat's legend. The green monster, that imposing left-field wall, loomed large, a constant visual reminder of the power that played out within its confines. It wasn't just a wall, it was a symbol, a tangible representation of the incredible feats that routinely occurred within Fenway's hallowed grounds. For Ruth, it wasn't a barrier, it was a target, a challenge he consistently met and conquered. The intimate nature of Fenway, a far cry from the sprawling stadiums of today, fostered a palpable connection between the players and the fans. The roar of the crowd, a deafening wave of sound that washed over the field, was immediate, visceral. It wasn't a distant hum. It was a physical presence, a force that fueled the players, spurred them on, and made every at-bat feel like a momentous event. The closeness of the stands, the nearness of the fans, created an atmosphere of shared experience, a collective heartbeat that vibrated through the park. Ruth, acutely aware of this connection, thrived in it. He wasn't just playing baseball, he was engaging in a conversation with the city of Boston, a dialogue played out through the crack of the bat, the trajectory of the ball, and the ecstatic roar of the crowd. He understood the power of this connection, the way his performance could uplift, inspire, and unite a city. His every swing was a gesture, his every home run a shared victory, celebrated not just in the stands, but throughout the city. The dimensions of Fenway, particularly the short left field wall, became almost mythical. Stories circulated about balls that just barely cleared the green monster, others that sailed far beyond it, leaving even the most seasoned spectators breathless. Each home run was meticulously measured and debated, its distance becoming a testament to Ruth's extraordinary power. These weren't just statistics. They were chapters in the ongoing saga of Ruth's dominance, adding to the lore and the legend that were rapidly taking shape within the confines of Fenway Park. The park itself wasn't merely a stage for Ruth's exploits, it was a character in the story, a living entity that absorbed the energy of the crowd and reflected it back onto the field. The scent of hot dogs and popcorn, the rhythmic thwack of leather on wood, the cacophony of cheers and groans. These were all components of the unique atmosphere that distinguished Fenway from any other ballpark. It was an experience as much as a game, a sensory overload that fully enveloped those lucky enough to witness it beyond the game itself. Fenway Park became a social hub, a vibrant center for community interaction. Before the game, fans would gather outside the park, sharing stories, trading rumors, and building anticipation for the spectacle that awaited them. After the game, The streets outside the park would buzz with activity, a confluence of joy and disappointment, triumph and defeat, all shared in the collective embrace of a city united by its love of the game. The Red Sox themselves reflected this communal spirit. The team, under Ruth's inspirational leadership, operated not as a mere collection of individual players, but as a cohesive unit, a brotherhood bound together by shared ambition and a collective desire to succeed. This sense of unity, evident both on and off the field, was a reflection of the close-knit community that surrounded them. The players were more than just teammates. They were friends, neighbors, and brothers-in-arms, fighting for their city, for their team, and for the glory that awaited them within the walls of Fenway Park. The experience of watching a game at Fenway wasn't just about the baseball. It was about the shared experience, the collective energy, the feeling of being a part of something larger than oneself. Families would gather, generations would come together, united by their shared passion for the Red Sox and their star player. The stadium itself became a symbol of community, a place where memories were made, friendships were forged, and the collective identity of Boston was constantly reaffirmed and renewed. The sounds of Fenway, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the rhythmic chant of the bleacher bums, became a kind of soundtrack to the era. It was a symphony of sounds, a testament to the passion, excitement, and collective energy that filled the park night after night. This sonic landscape, unique to Fenway, helped to define the atmosphere and further cemented the stadium's place. In baseball history, even the architecture of Fenway contributed to its unique character. The aging wood, the weathered brick, the intimate feel of the stands. These elements all combined to create an atmosphere that was both historic and undeniably captivating. It wasn't just a place to watch a game. It was a living museum, a repository of baseball history that resonated with every crack of the bat and every soaring home run. Ruth's impact on Fenway Park extended far beyond the numbers on the scoreboard. He transformed the park from simply a venue into a symbol, a sacred space where the legend of Babe Ruth was born and nurtured. His presence elevated the experience of the game, making it a spectacle to be witnessed and remembered, transforming each visit into a shared experience, a communal celebration of the sport and the city itself. The stories recounted in those old Boston pubs weren't just about home runs and victories. They were about the intangible magic of Fenway Park during the Ruth era, a time when a stadium became a testament to the enduring power of a legend and the city that embraced him. The impact of his presence extended beyond the field of play. His name, his image, his very essence became intrinsically linked to Fenway Park itself. The grounds became a shrine, a pilgrimage site for baseball enthusiasts, a place where the echoes of his legendary home runs still seemed to linger in the air, a tangible reminder of an era when Fenway Park was more than just a ballpark. It was a fortress, a cathedral of baseball, presided over by the Sultan of SWAT. The city's collective identity was interwoven with the successes of its beloved team and their incredible star. This wasn't just about winning. It was about shared experience, civic pride, and the power of sport to unite a community. The years Ruth spent in Boston were transformative for the city, its spirit, and its most iconic ballpark. Fenway Park, during the Ruth era, was a place where legends were made, not only on the field but also in the hearts and minds of the people who witnessed the spectacle. It was an era that redefined the very essence of the ballpark, transforming it into a testament to the enduring power of baseball, community, and a singular, unforgettable player. The departure of Babe Ruth cast a long shadow over the New York Yankees, a shadow that grew longer and darker with each passing season. The boisterous confidence that had characterized the team during Ruth's tenure in Boston evaporated, replaced by a gnawing uncertainty. The 1920 season, the first without the Sultan of Swat, felt like a funeral procession, a slow, mournful march towards mediocrity. The team, once a vibrant force, now seemed listless, their movements devoid of the explosive energy that Ruth had infused into every game. The Yankees management, having made the fateful decision to trade Ruth, scrambled to find a suitable replacement, a player who could fill the colossal void left by the Babe. Their efforts, however, proved largely futile. They signed promising players, touted as the next Ruth, but none could replicate the sheer power, the charisma, or the uncanny ability to lift a team and a city. These replacements were often talented, even exceptional players in their own right, but they lacked the singular, captivating essence of Babe Ruth. Their efforts, while valiant, felt like frantic attempts to plug a hole in a dam with a leaky bucket. The lack of a genuine successor to Ruth wasn't just about batting statistics. It affected the team's very soul. The intangible energy, the belief in their own invincibility that Ruth had instilled, simply vanished. Without him, the team felt fractured, fragmented, lacking the unifying force that had driven them to success. In his previous years, his absence created a void that went far beyond the numbers on the scoreboard. It was a hole in the team's morale, a crack in their collective spirit. The team's struggles were not only evident on the field, they permeated the organization. The front office, once brimming with confidence, now seemed plagued by indecision and second-guessing. Their attempts to find a player of Ruth's caliber often resembled desperate grasping at straws, fueled more by panic than careful planning. Their recruitment strategies became a desperate race against time, a scramble to find a player who could somehow fill the immeasurable gap. These panicked decisions ultimately led to a cycle of inconsistent signings, short-term solutions, and further setbacks. The organization, once a well-oiled machine, now felt clunky and disjointed. Discontent festered among the players. The weight of expectations, amplified by Ruth's departure, proved too heavy for some. The camaraderie that had once bound them together began to fray, replaced by a sense of disillusionment and frustration. Individual performances suffered, as players struggled to cope with the pressure and the absence of their inspirational leader. The once harmonious locker room became tense, with whispers of blame and recriminations. The fans, too, felt the impact. The boisterous enthusiasm that had once defined Yankees games was gradually replaced by a sense of subdued disappointment. The stands, once filled with the roar of the crowd, now echoed with a low murmur of frustration. The atmosphere in the stadium felt different. The energy had shifted, and the sense of unity that had previously existed between the team and its fans began to fade. The Yankees' decline was not simply a matter of replacing one star player. It was a collapse of confidence, a loss of identity. The team, stripped of its most potent weapon and its charismatic leader, seemed to lose its way, stumbling from one defeat to another. The once unshakable faith in the team evaporated. Their struggle wasn't a temporary setback. It was a descent into a seemingly endless cycle of disappointment. The persistent failures gave rise to a sense of resignation, a feeling that the curse of the absent Babe Ruth hung over the team. This wasn't just a casual observation. It solidified itself into a narrative, a legend born from a series of disappointments. The whispers grew louder, morphing into a collective belief that the Yankees would never reach the same heights without the Babe. This curse of the swap that never was, as it eventually became known, was more than mere superstition. It was a symptom of a deeper malaise within the organization. The curse, however, was less a supernatural phenomenon and more a reflection of the team's organizational shortcomings. The failure to adequately replace Ruth wasn't just about finding a player with comparable skills. It was also about the lack of foresight, planning, and adaptability that was needed to handle such a significant loss. The Yankees, once pioneers in the business of baseball, seemed unable to cope with the vacuum left by the greatest player of his generation. They had traded not just a player, they had traded their collective confidence and a large part of their identity. The impact of this perceived curse extended beyond the team itself. It fueled speculation, gave rise to countless articles and discussions, and permeated the fabric of the Yankees' identity. The weight of expectation, the relentless pressure to succeed in the shadow of Ruth's colossal achievements, served to further destabilize the team, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The Yankees' struggles became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the cost of miscalculation and the devastating impact of losing a once-in-a-generation talent. The years following Ruth's trade marked a period of significant transformation, not just for the Yankees but also for the way baseball teams approached their management strategies. The Yankees' prolonged struggle highlighted the importance of skillful player development, the need for comprehensive organizational planning, and the crucial role of team cohesion in achieving long-term success. The absence of Ruth served as a painful lesson in the intangible aspects of team dynamics, a reminder that a team's success depends not only on individual talent but also on the complex interplay of factors that create a unified, focused, and resilient organization. The curse of the swap that never wasn't merely a superstitious belief. It was a stark symbol of a team grappling with the aftermath of a momentous decision, struggling to recover from the loss of not just a player, but the very spirit that had defined their previous successes. The story of the Yankees' struggle in the aftermath of Ruth's departure is a tale of missed opportunities, miscalculations, and the enduring power of a player's legacy, demonstrating that the cost of losing a legend can extend far beyond the confines of the baseball diamond. The echoes of that trade would continue to resonate through the years, shaping the team's identity and their future endeavors. It served as a potent reminder that even the most powerful franchises are not immune to the consequences of flawed decision-making. The Yankees' struggles, in the long run, became a valuable lesson, a cautionary tale in baseball management, illustrating the profound impact a single player and a single decision could have on a team's future. The silence after the storm of Ruth's departure resonated throughout the years, a stark reminder of a pivotal moment that changed the course of baseball history. Asterisk, had the trade gone through, sending Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees, the trajectory of American baseball, and perhaps even American culture, would have taken a dramatically different turn. Instead, the Sultan of SWAT remained in Boston, a decision with reverberating consequences that extended far beyond the diamond. The Red Sox, already a powerhouse, became a dynasty, their success inextricably linked to Ruth's continued presence. His already formidable power at the plate became even more pronounced, fueled by the unwavering support of the Boston faithful and the comfort of familiarity. The statistics alone would be staggering, but they barely scratched the surface of his impact. Ruth's presence in Boston was not merely a matter of home runs and RBs. He became a symbol, a larger-than-life figure who transcended the sport. The city embraced him, transforming him into something more than just a baseball player. He was a beloved son of Boston, an embodiment of the city's spirit. His jovial demeanor and easy charm captivated crowds, and his powerful swing became a source of collective civic pride. Newspapers dedicated entire sections to his exploits, not just detailing his performances, but also chronicling his life outside the stadium. Every home run was met with raucous celebration, every game a communal experience that cemented the bond between Ruth and the city. The burgeoning media landscape of the era played a crucial role in catapulting Ruth to national stardom. Newspapers, eager to capitalize on his immense popularity, dedicated countless columns to him. Photographs of his powerful swing and dazzling smile adorned the sports pages, and his exploits were recounted in vivid detail, transforming him into a readily accessible icon for a rapidly modernizing nation. Newsreels captured his every move, showcasing the sheer power of his hits and capturing his charismatic personality. He became the subject of countless articles, features, and eventually, books. Beyond the printed word and moving images, Ruth's influence was felt in the burgeoning world of advertising and endorsements. He became a highly sought-after figure for companies seeking to associate their products with his winning image and captivating persona. Ruth's endorsements were not simply about selling goods. They represented an emerging trend in celebrity marketing, effectively merging athletic prowess with commercial success. He became a pioneer in the field, demonstrating the immense commercial potential of a charismatic sports star. His image graced everything from baseball bats and sporting goods to tobacco products and even automobiles. His name synonymous with quality and excellence. These endorsements solidified his image in the public consciousness, further solidifying his status as a national icon. This commercial success, in turn, allowed Ruth to accumulate significant wealth, a testament to his star power and the expanding market for celebrity endorsements. This wealth gave him a level of influence previously unseen in the world of sports, allowing him to shape his public image and navigate the complexities of fame on his own terms. The wealth he accrued provided him not only with financial security, but also with an increased level of independence, enabling him to pursue his personal interests and causes without constraint. But Ruth's influence extended beyond personal wealth and commercial endorsements. His growing celebrity status attracted intense media scrutiny, and the press chronicled not only his triumphs on the field, but also his personal life, his opinions, and his actions off the field. His every move was scrutinized, his every word analyzed, and his every action carefully documented. He became a subject of public discourse, his opinions on social and political issues sought after by the media and the public alike. This level of visibility thrust him into the role of a cultural figure, and the narratives surrounding his life became intertwined with the broader social and political conversations of his time. Ruth's growing influence and exposure to the wider society led to his increasing involvement in social causes. While not a vocal political activist in the traditional sense, his actions and pronouncements often carried significant weight and influenced public opinion. He used his platform to subtly comment on social inequities, often through his actions, rather than direct pronouncements. For instance, his charitable contributions were carefully planned, showing his understanding of community needs and directing aid towards those most underserved. His visits to hospitals and children's homes generated positive publicity, solidifying his image as a kind and compassionate figure. His relationships with various social groups were carefully curated, allowing him to build trust and connect with individuals from various backgrounds. His implicit endorsement of certain causes, whether it was attending a fundraiser or promoting a social welfare initiative, resonated powerfully with his substantial fan base. The contrast between the idealized image of Ruth promoted by the media and the reality of his personal life created a complex and fascinating narrative. While his public persona was one of wholesome family man, his private life revealed a more complex individual, capable of both generosity and recklessness. This duality, however, only served to increase his allure and intrigue. The public fascination with Ruth was fueled by this very contrast, by the enigma of the man behind the myth. It's important to note that his impact on society wasn't solely confined to the realm of sports or entertainment. The media's obsession with Ruth, their meticulous documenting of his life, inadvertently highlighted various social and cultural trends of the era. His story, therefore, became a mirror reflecting the changing attitudes towards fame, wealth, and public image in the early 20th century. His ability to cultivate such a powerful public persona paved the way for future athletes and celebrities to leverage their fame for financial gain and social impact. Ruth's continued success in Boston also had a significant impact on the city itself. Boston's identity became inextricably linked to his triumphs, his legendary home runs becoming an integral part of the city's narrative. Tourism surged as fans flocked to Fenway Park to witness the Sultan of SWAT in action, and the city's economy benefited immensely from the increased foot traffic and spending. This economic boost strengthened the city's position as a major hub for sports and entertainment. His presence also injected a renewed sense of civic pride into the city of Boston. The shared experience of watching Ruth dominate the game brought together people from different backgrounds, strengthening the social fabric of the community. The success of the Red Sox became a unifying force for the city. This collective pride and shared experience transcended mere sports fandom. It represented a fundamental connection to a vibrant and thriving community. The Sultan of SWAT wasn't just a baseball player. He was a symbol, a cultural phenomenon whose influence permeated all aspects of American life during this period. His story is not just about extraordinary athletic achievements. It is a narrative of the evolution of celebrity, the power of the media, and the profound impact a single individual can have on a city, a sport, and a nation. His legacy extends far beyond the statistics, reaching into the very fabric of American culture and shaping the way we perceive and interact with sports figures even today. The absence of the trade had unforeseen consequences, not only reshaping the course of baseball, but also leaving an indelible mark on the American psyche. His story, a tale of continued success and immense influence, offers a fascinating counterfactual to the historical narrative, a testament to the enduring power of one extraordinary player and the enduring legacy he left on Boston and the nation. The 1920s dawned, not on a fractured Red Sox organization reeling from the loss of Babe Ruth, but on a team poised for unprecedented dominance. Ruth, far from being a disgruntled star, thrived in Boston. He wasn't merely hitting home runs. He was orchestrating them, his presence electrifying the team and igniting a fire in his teammates. Cy Williams, a naturally gifted hitter, found his power amplified playing alongside Ruth. He wasn't just hitting for average anymore. He was launching rockets, driven by the competitive spirit Ruth instilled in the lineup. The same was true for Harry Hooper, whose already exceptional fielding was complemented by a newfound confidence at the plate, his batting average soaring to new heights under Ruth's tutelage. The team's atmosphere was a potent blend of camaraderie and fierce competition. Ruth, while a larger-than-life figure, was a surprisingly effective leader, fostering a team environment where individual talent was harnessed for collective success. He was not a dictator, but a mentor, guiding younger players with a mix of encouragement and playful ribbing. His legendary temper was often directed at opponents, not teammates, fueling his own performance and inspiring others to match his intensity. The dugout wasn't just a place to rest. It was a crucible where rivalries sharpened skills and the spirit of competition forged an unbreakable bond. Their success wasn't just limited to the regular season. The Red Sox consistently dominated the postseason, their playoff appearances becoming almost an inevitability. The 1920 World Series was a showcase of their power, a relentless barrage of home runs and brilliant pitching that left opponents in the dust. Ruth, naturally, was the star, his performance transcending mere statistics. It was a display of power, grace, and an almost supernatural ability to deliver in crucial moments. The games were not merely contests, they were communal experiences that unified the city of Boston. Fenway Park, already legendary, became a cauldron of energy. The roaring crowds, a tangible force that spurred the team to even greater feats. The following years saw a continuation of this dominance. The Red Sox continued to set records, breaking their own marks in home runs, runs scored, and team batting average, all with Ruth at the heart of their success. The team developed a rhythm, a symbiotic relationship between pitcher and batter, a seamless dance of offensive and defensive prowess that made them virtually unbeatable. The consistency of their victories was staggering, each win further cementing their legacy and solidifying their place in baseball lore. They weren't merely winning games, they were rewriting the rulebook, setting standards that would challenge future generations. The Red Sox's success wasn't merely the result of Ruth's prodigious talent, it was a testament to the team's cohesiveness. The team's manager, a shrewd tactician whose name now escapes most modern historians, played a critical role. He understood Ruth's personality and utilized his strengths strategically, creating a lineup that amplified the team's overall potential. This wasn't just about individual brilliance. It was about a carefully orchestrated symphony of talent, where every player played their role, both on and off the field, perfectly. This cohesive unit was reflected in their training regime. The team wasn't just a collection of individuals practicing their skills. It was a unified force, pushing each other to improve, constantly innovating and developing new strategies. Their practices were not mere rehearsals, but competitive events, in themselves, reflecting the intensity that characterized their game. The team's unity was palpable, the bond forged in the crucible of competition and solidified by shared triumphs. The 1920s became synonymous with Red Sox dominance, a testament not only to Ruth's incredible talent, but to the powerful team he helped build. It wasn't just about winning. It was about the way they won, with style, with panache, with an almost arrogant confidence that made them the undisputed kings of baseball. Their success wasn't a fluke. It was the result of years of hard work, strategic planning, and an unwavering belief in their collective ability. Newspapers across the nation chronicled the team's exploits, using superlatives that even now feel inadequate to capture their phenomenal run. Boston itself transformed, its identity inextricably linked to the Red Sox's remarkable successes. The city's civic pride swelled. Ruth, already a national icon, became a symbol of Bostonian resilience, strength, and unbeatable spirit. The economic benefits were undeniable, with tourism and business booming due to the immense popularity of the team. The team's character extended beyond the field. Their community involvement was significant, and Ruth, ever the charismatic leader, played a leading role in fostering positive relationships with the city's population. The players made regular appearances at local events, and their charitable efforts earned them widespread respect, transforming them from mere athletes into beloved community figures. Their victories weren't just celebrated within the stadium, but throughout the city, unifying residents of all backgrounds and social standings. However, this period wasn't without its challenges. Maintaining such a consistently high level of performance required constant vigilance, careful management of player morale, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Injuries and slumps inevitably occurred, requiring the team to adapt and overcome setbacks. Internal tensions, though rare, would occasionally surface, demanding that the leadership resolve disagreements and maintain the team's unity. Despite these hurdles, the Red Sox remained unyielding, their resilience a testament to the strength of their collective spirit. They learned from their defeats, using them to refine their strategies and enhance their teamwork. Their ability to rebound from setbacks demonstrated their mental fortitude, and it solidified their reputation as not only supremely talented, but also incredibly disciplined and resilient. By the end of the decade, the Red Sox dynasty was undeniable, their achievements leaving an enduring legacy in baseball history. The 1920s was their era, and their influence on the game, and on the city of Boston itself, was profound and lasting. Their story is a testament to the power of collective talent, strategic leadership, and the enduring magic of a team that transcended the ordinary, achieving the extraordinary and shaping an alternate history for baseball. The absence of the Ruth trade didn't just change the course of the Yankees. It completely redefined the Red Sox, turning them into an unstoppable force that dominated the game for an entire decade and left an enduring legacy on the sport. The Red Sox's success wasn't merely the result of Ruth's prodigious talent. It was a testament to the team's cohesiveness. The team's manager, a shrewd tactician whose name now escapes most modern historians, played a critical role. He understood Ruth's personality and utilized his strengths strategically, creating a lineup that amplified the team's overall potential. This wasn't just about individual brilliance. It was about a carefully orchestrated symphony of talent, where every player played their role, both on and off the field. Perfectly, this cohesive unit was reflected in their training regime. The team wasn't just a collection of individuals practicing their skills. It was a unified force, pushing each other to improve, constantly innovating and developing new strategies. Their practices were not mere rehearsals, but competitive events in themselves, reflecting the intensity that characterized their game. The team's unity was palpable, the bond forged in the crucible of competition and solidified by shared triumphs. The 1920s became synonymous with Red Sox dominance, a testament not only to Ruth's incredible talent, but to the powerful team he helped build. It wasn't just about winning. It was about the way they won, with style, with panache, with an almost arrogant confidence that made them the undisputed kings of baseball. Their success wasn't a fluke. It was the result of years of hard work, strategic planning, and an unwavering belief in their collective ability. Newspapers across the nation chronicled the team's exploits, using superlatives that even now feel inadequate to capture their phenomenal run. Boston itself transformed, its identity inextricably linked to the Red Sox's remarkable successes. The city's civic pride swelled. Ruth, already a national icon, became a symbol of Bostonian resilience, strength, and unbeatable spirit. The economic benefits were undeniable, with tourism and business booming due to the immense popularity of the team. The team's character extended beyond the field. Their community involvement was significant, and Ruth, ever the charismatic leader, played a leading role in fostering positive relationships with the city's population. The players made regular appearances at local events, and their charitable efforts earned them widespread respect, transforming them from mere athletes into beloved community figures. Their victories weren't just celebrated within the stadium, but throughout the city, unifying residents of all backgrounds and social standings. However, this period wasn't without its challenges. Maintaining such a consistently high level of performance required constant vigilance, careful management of player morale, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Injuries and slumps inevitably occurred, requiring the team to adapt and overcome setbacks. Internal tensions, though rare, would occasionally surface, demanding that the leadership resolve disagreements and maintain the team's unity. Despite these hurdles, the Red Sox remained unyielding, their resilience a testament to the strength of their collective spirit. They learned from their defeats, using them to refine their strategies and enhance their teamwork. Their ability to rebound from setbacks demonstrated their mental fortitude, and it solidified their reputation as not only supremely talented, but also incredibly disciplined and resilient. By the end of the decade, the Red Sox dynasty was undeniable, their achievements leaving an enduring legacy in baseball history. The 1920s was their era, and their influence on the game, and on the city of Boston itself, was profound and lasting. Their story is a testament to the power of collective talent, strategic leadership, and the enduring magic of a team that transcended the ordinary, achieving the extraordinary and shaping an alternate history for baseball. The absence of the Ruth trade didn't just change the course of the Yankees. It completely redefined the Red Sox, turning them into an unstoppable force that dominated the game for an entire decade and left an enduring legacy on the sport. The challenges Ruth faced in his activism were considerable. While he didn't directly confront the systemic racism of his era in a confrontational way, he certainly faced criticism, both subtle and overt, for his inclusiveness. Some of his peers likely disapproved of his friendships with black players. Some fans may have even expressed displeasure with his actions, although documentation of such is sadly lacking. Given the societal context, the mere act of demonstrating friendship and equality with a black player took courage. The impact of Ruth's actions, however, was undeniably significant. His legacy extended far beyond his on-field achievements. He left behind a legacy of quiet activism, a demonstration that even the most subtle acts of inclusiveness can hold immense power. He was a pioneer, a silent force for positive social change, a man whose actions quietly spoke louder than words. The story of Babe Ruth in this alternate timeline is not just a tale of sporting dominance. It is a profound exploration of the interplay between athletic achievement, social consciousness, and the power of individual action to influence the course of history. His legacy is more than just home runs and World Series victories. It is a testament to the capacity of a single individual to use their platform for meaningful social progress, a beacon of hope in an era defined by both remarkable innovation and unsettling social divisions. Ruth's impact on baseball and on American society extends far beyond the cheers of the crowd. It represents a quiet revolution, a powerful statement woven into the fabric of his extraordinary life and enduring legend. It is a testament to the fact that heroism can take many forms, and that even the smallest acts of kindness and inclusivity can have a ripple effect that resonates through time. Asterisk, the 1923 season hung heavy with the scent of expectation. The Red Sox, fueled by Babe Ruth's thunderous bat and a team spirit forged in the crucible of their previous victories, were not merely aiming for another pennant. They were aiming for domination, a reign unchallenged and unquestioned. But the path to such undisputed supremacy was far from smooth. The American League was a battlefield, and every game was a skirmish in a long, arduous war. Their most persistent rivals, the New York Yankees, were a team on the rise, their ambition burning as brightly as the lights of Broadway. While Ruth's departure had been a seismic blow, they had rebuilt. Their roster a tapestry woven with young talent and shrewd acquisitions. Manager Miller Huggins, a tactician of considerable skill, had crafted a team that relentlessly challenged the Red Sox at every turn. The Yankees weren't just competing for wins. They were competing for the soul of the league, vying for the spotlight that had previously belonged solely to Ruth and his team. The first clash of the season, played amidst a sea of expectant fans at Fenway Park, was a tense affair. Ruth, though now a formidable adversary, carried a shadow of his former self with him. He felt the weight of expectation from both sides, the yearning of his former team, the ambition of his current one. The game was a classic pitcher's duel, a battle of wills between the Red Sox ace and the Yankees' rising star. The tension was palpable, the crowd a roaring ocean of anticipation. It went down to the wire, a single run separating the two teams, a nail-biting finish that foreshadowed the season to come. The Red Sox emerged victorious, but it was a victory, hard-earned, a testament to their resilience and the unwavering skill of their players. The season unfolded in a series of close encounters. Every game against the Yankees felt like a championship match, a clash of titans. The strategies employed by both managers were fascinating to watch. Huggins' meticulous planning against the Red Sox's more intuitive, sometimes improvisational style. Ruth, facing his former team, adopted a strategic approach, combining power hitting with calculated bunting and base running. It wasn't just about hitting home runs, it was about winning at any cost. The Red Sox relied heavily on their pitching. Rotation, a group of reliable arms who consistently kept the Yankees' powerful offense in check. They developed a masterful ability to adapt their game plan, changing their tactics depending on the opposing team's strategy. This adaptability proved critical in numerous close games, their flexibility ensuring them a crucial edge. But the Yankees were not the only obstacle in their path. The Cleveland Indians, with their fast-paced offense and opportunistic base running, posed a significant threat. Their manager, Tris Speaker, was a legend in the game, and his shrewd tactics made them a formidable opponent. The games against the Indians were characterized by an electrifying tempo, a whirlwind of stolen bases, close plays at the plate, and clutch hits that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. The Red Sox, however, proved equal to the challenge, demonstrating their own tactical prowess and remarkable resilience. Their pitchers learned to adapt to the Indians' aggressive style, and their hitters responded with timely hits that turned the tide of many games. Their ability to win close games against the Indians spoke volumes about their discipline and mental toughness. The Philadelphia Athletics, managed by Connie Mack, presented a different kind of challenge. Mack's team was known for its shrewd defensive play, and their consistent performances tested the Red Sox's patience and offensive capabilities. The games against Philadelphia were often low-scoring affairs, pitchers' battles characterized by meticulous pitching and brilliant defensive plays. The Red Sox needed to be patient, to wait for their opportunities, to capitalize on any errors made by the Athletics' defense. It was a test of their mental fortitude, a battle of attrition where the slightest mistake could prove costly. The Red Sox, however, proved that their winning wasn't solely based on power hitting. They could win in a myriad of ways. Beyond the games themselves, the tension between the Red Sox and their rivals extended off the field. The newspapers were filled with stories of feuds and rivalries, often fueled by the intense competition and the personalities involved. The fans were passionately involved, their loyalty to their team bordering on religious fervor. The rivalry between the Red Sox and the Yankees transcended the simple confines of sport. It was a cultural phenomenon, a defining characteristic of the era. This intense competition did not just galvanize the Red Sox. It made their achievements even more significant, their victories even sweeter. The climax of the season arrived in the final series against the Yankees. The stakes were incredibly high, the atmosphere electric. The Red Sox, despite facing considerable pressure, maintained their composure and played with the precision and confidence that had characterized their season. The series showcased the best of baseball, a compelling blend of offensive power and exceptional pitching. Ruth, facing his former team, played with a mixture of intensity and nostalgia, his performance both powerful and poignant. The Red Sox ultimately secured the pennant, winning a hard-fought victory that cemented their place as the dominant team in the league. But their triumph was not just about individual brilliance or tactical superiority. It was about team unity, a shared sense of purpose, and a collective determination to achieve greatness. They faced setbacks, controversies, and intense challenges, but their unwavering belief in their abilities and their commitment to each other carried them through. They were more than a team. They were a brotherhood, their bond forged in the fires of competition and hardened by the crucible of success. Their dominance extended beyond their skill on the field. Their influence reached far beyond baseball stadiums, extending into the fabric of American culture and daily life. The Red Sox were more than a team. They represented a symbol of aspiration, a source of pride and inspiration for their fans, a benchmark of excellence in their sport. Their victories transcended the realm of mere sporting achievement. They represented triumphs of the human spirit, testaments to dedication, discipline, and the power of collective endeavor. Their story became a legend, a tale spun across countless generations, a saga of determination and triumph etched into the history of baseball. The 1923 season and the following years were a demonstration of the Red Sox's enduring ability to rise above challenges and maintain their position at the forefront of baseball. Their legacy was one of domination, etched not only in the scorebooks, but also in the hearts and minds of baseball fans across the nation. A dynasty born not just in skill, but in a potent combination of skill, resilience, and unwavering spirit. The crimson of their uniforms was a symbol of their unwavering strength, a representation of their reign, a testament to a dynasty forged in the fires of intense competition and the unwavering spirit of a team. The roar of the crowd at Fenway Park wasn't just the sound of cheering, it was the heartbeat of Boston itself. In 1923, and for years to come, the city pulsed with the rhythm of baseball, a rhythm set by the thunderous swing of Babe Ruth and the unwavering determination of the Red Sox. Boston wasn't just a city, it was a baseball city, a place where the crack of the bat echoed through the streets, where every bar became a makeshift clubhouse, and where the daily conversations were, punctuated by box scores and player statistics. The Red Sox weren't just a team. They were the soul of Boston, a living, breathing embodiment of the city's spirit. Ruth's arrival had been a cultural earthquake. Before, Boston had a strong baseball tradition, but Ruth catapulted it into a different stratosphere. He wasn't just a player. He was a phenomenon, a larger-than-life figure who captivated the city's imagination. His home runs weren't just balls leaving the yard. They were symbols of hope, defiance, and the intoxicating thrill of victory. They transcended the boundaries of the ballpark, seeping into the consciousness of every Bostonian, regardless of social class or background. Working-class families would gather around radios, their faces illuminated by the flickering glow of the tubes, hanging onto every play, every crack of the bat, every stolen base. Wealthy Bostonians would fill the exclusive boxes at Fenway, there. Evenings punctuated by the clinking of champagne glasses and the boisterous celebrations that followed each Red Sox triumph. The impact of Ruth and the Red Sox extended far beyond the stands. The city's economy thrived on the team's success. Hotels were booked solid during the season. Restaurants saw a surge in business, and souvenir shops did a booming trade in Red Sox memorabilia. The city's newspapers dedicated countless inches to the team, their pages filled with analyses of games, profiles of players, and debates about the team's strategies. Even the city's artists and writers found inspiration in the team's triumphs, their work infused with the energy and excitement of the baseball season. The city's cultural landscape was completely transformed. Plays, poems, and songs celebrated the Red Sox, weaving their narrative into the very fabric of Bostonian identity. The transformation was visible in the city's streets. The air hummed with a palpable energy, a collective excitement that permeated every corner of Boston. Conversations flowed freely, fueled by the shared experience of watching the Red Sox battle their rivals. The city's parks became impromptu baseball diamonds, with children mimicking their heroes, their joyous shouts echoing through the trees. Even the city's architecture seemed to reflect the team's dominance. The brick facades of the buildings seemed to resonate with the same crimson as the Red Sox uniforms, a visual reminder of the team's powerful presence in the city's life. The city's identity became intrinsically linked to the team's success. To be a Bostonian was to be a Red Sox fan, to share in the collective pride and joy that the team inspired. The city's social fabric was also profoundly influenced by the team. People from all walks of life found common ground in their shared passion for the Red Sox. The team served as a unifying force, bridging social divides and fostering a sense of community. The shared experience of watching the games, cheering on the players, and celebrating victories created a sense of belonging, a feeling of being part of something larger than oneself. Neighborhoods would erupt in spontaneous celebrations after Red Sox wins, strangers becoming friends in a shared outpouring of joy. The city's spirit was irrevocably tied to the team's fortunes. Moments of triumph created a wave of collective euphoria, and conversely, defeats engendered a unified feeling of shared disappointment. The newspapers, a vital part of the city's life, reflected this intense connection. Their pages were filled with not only game reports and statistics, but also with commentary, analysis, and opinion pieces, all reflecting the city's fervent interest in the team. The papers acted as a public forum where fans could express their opinions, share their insights, and engage in passionate debates about the team's performance. The writers themselves were often avid fans, their reporting imbued with a sense of personal investment and emotional commitment. This fervent engagement transcended mere reporting. It was a vital part of the social and cultural conversation of the city. The newspapers, in essence, acted as the chronicle of the collective consciousness of a baseball-mad city. But the connection wasn't just emotional. It was economic as well. The success of the Red Sox translated into tangible benefits for the city, boosting tourism, generating jobs, and stimulating economic activity. Local businesses thrived during the baseball season, capitalizing on the increased foot traffic and spending associated with the team's games. The team itself generated revenue that flowed back into the community through taxes and various investments. The Red Sox weren't just a team. They were a significant economic engine for the city of Boston. Their impact resonated across various sectors, from hotels and restaurants to souvenir shops, and even the city's infrastructure. The 1920s in Boston were defined by this intense relationship between the city and its baseball team. The team was not just a source of entertainment. It was a symbol of pride, a source of community, and a significant economic driver. It's a testament to the transformative power of sport and the profound impact a beloved team can have on the identity, culture, and very lifeblood of a city. The Red Sox weren't just winning games. They were shaping the identity of Boston, brick by crimson brick, home run by home run, transforming the city into an undisputed epicenter of baseball. A city where the love of the game was not just a pastime, but a fundamental part of its being. The legacy of that era continued to shape Boston's identity for generations to come. The echo of those triumphant seasons still reverberates through the city's streets, a powerful reminder of a time when baseball and Boston were inextricably intertwined. The Babe's thunderous presence cast a long shadow, but the 1920s Red Sox dynasty wasn't a one-man show. A constellation of stars orbited Ruth, each contributing their unique brilliance to the team's dazzling success. While the Sultan of SWAT captivated headlines with his prodigious home runs, other players quietly, and sometimes not so quietly, built the foundation of this legendary era. Players like Cy Williams, a fleet-footed outfielder with a knack for timely hits, often found himself overshadowed by Ruth's flamboyant style. Yet, Williams' contributions were pivotal. His speed on the base paths disrupted opposing defenses, creating scoring opportunities that Ruth, with his immense power, could capitalize on. The newspapers, while obsessed with Ruth's home run totals, acknowledged Williams' importance, calling him the spark plug of the offense, highlighting his ability to manufacture runs even on days when Ruth's bat remained relatively silent. The chemistry between the two was evident, a silent understanding forged in countless games and shared triumphs, while Ruth's personality dominated the headlines. Williams' quiet strength was essential to the team's overall success. Then, there was George Kelly, a formidable first baseman known for his incredible glove work and his consistent batting average. Unlike Ruth's dramatic home runs, Kelly's contributions were steady and reliable, a cornerstone of the team's offensive strategy. He was the player who got the small hits, moved runners, and ensured the team maintained a constant offensive pressure. Kelly represented the essential, less glamorous, yet equally important side of championship baseball, a fact that Boston newspapers highlighted, praising his defensive prowess and his unwavering consistency at the plate. The contrast between Ruth's explosive style and Kelly's dependable performance showcased the team's multifaceted strengths, a balanced approach that proved crucial to their dominance. The pitching staff, too, played a critical role in the Red Sox's success. While individual stars may not have reached the same level of fame as Ruth or Williams, their collective performance was nothing short of extraordinary. They formed an unbreakable wall, suffocating opposing offenses and providing the necessary support for the team's potent lineup. The newspapers meticulously documented their statistics, celebrating their strikeout totals, their low eras, and their ability to consistently shut down even the most formidable hitters. These pitchers were the unsung heroes, the silent guardians of the team's success. Their names etched in the collective memory of Boston baseball fans. Newspaper columns often featured analyses of their pitching styles, highlighting their strengths and comparing them to past legends. This detailed coverage elevated their status beyond mere statistics, transforming them into recognizable figures in the city's consciousness. The relationship between these players wasn't just professional, it transcended the diamond and extended into their personal lives. Newspaper articles, often laced with speculative flair, chronicled their off-field friendships and rivalries, showcasing their interactions as an integral part of the Red Sox narrative. The media presented these players not simply as individual athletes, but as a cohesive unit, a brotherhood forged in the crucible of competition. This narrative extended beyond the realm of factual reporting. It created a sense of community around the team, a perception of shared dedication and camaraderie that resonated deeply with Boston's fans. The creation of the Red Sox legend extended beyond the players themselves. Specific events solidified their place in baseball history and in the hearts of Boston fans. The legendary 1923 season, for instance, became a touchstone of their dynasty, a year when the team's combined talents shone brightest. The newspapers covered every game with extraordinary detail, highlighting both individual brilliance and the team's collaborative efforts. The sheer number of wins, the dramatic come-from-behind victories, and the individual performances of players like Ruth and Williams were extensively analyzed and celebrated. Those articles didn't just record facts, they created a mythology around the team, a narrative that was passed down through generations of Red Sox fans. But beyond the statistics and the game narratives, the legend was also crafted through the lens of the media. Newspaper reporters and columnists weren't just chroniclers, they were active participants in constructing the narrative. They created larger-than-life personas for the players, emphasizing their personalities as much as their skills. Ruth's charisma was carefully cultivated and presented to the public, transforming him into a national icon, while other players' strengths were carefully highlighted, creating a balanced narrative that reflected the team's collective power. The media played a crucial role in shaping public perception, not only conveying the facts, but also weaving a compelling narrative that resonated far beyond the confines of Fenway Park. These articles didn't just report on baseball games. They painted a vivid picture of a city united by its team, of a shared passion that transcended social boundaries and economic differences. Specific games, particularly those against fierce rivals, became legendary moments, recounted and relived through the detailed reporting of the newspapers. Close games, dramatic victories, and even heartbreaking defeats were woven into the collective narrative, further strengthening the bond between the team and the city. The media transformed these games from simple contests into emotionally charged events, highlighting not only the athletic feats, but also the dramatic tension and the shared emotions of the players and the fans. These narratives cemented the Red Sox's place in the history books, transforming them into more than just a successful team. They became a symbol of the city itself, The stories weren't just about statistics and wins. They were about the human drama unfolding on the field and in the city's streets. The newspapers often delved into the players' personalities, their backgrounds, and their relationships, adding depth and texture to the larger-than-life narrative. The stories of resilience, determination, and camaraderie helped create a powerful mythology that transcended the boundaries of the sport. They humanized the players, allowing fans to connect with them on a personal level, enhancing the emotional resonance of the team's success. The media's careful crafting of these narratives emphasizing both the individual achievements and the team's collective spirits solidified the Red Sox's place in the city's lore. The legend of the 1920s Red Sox was built not just by their victories on the field, but by the collective storytelling of the city and its press. The resulting narrative created a powerful and enduring connection between the team and its fans, a bond that continues to resonate in the hearts and minds of Boston baseball enthusiasts to this day. The legacy extended beyond the immediate years of dominance. It laid the foundation for future Red Sox teams, and ultimately cemented the team's status as a cornerstone of Boston's identity. The stories, the legends, and the very fabric of Boston itself became inextricably intertwined with the crimson legacy of the 1920s Red Sox. The roar of the crowds, once a constant companion, began to fade into a distant echo as Babe Ruth's playing days dwindled. The prodigious power that had once sent baseballs soaring over stadium walls now flickered like a dying ember. The 1930s found him still in pinstripes, but the magic was undeniably waning. His batting average, once a source of awe, dipped below its usual lofty heights. The relentless pursuit of home runs, a quest that had defined his career, seemed to carry a heavier weight, each swing laden with the burden of fading glory. The newspapers, once eager to chronicle his every feat, began to subtly shift their focus, their reports tinged with a melancholic undertone. Articles started to feature less about his hitting prowess and more about the aging legend and the specter of retirement. He was still the Babe, still a draw, but the unmistakable signs of time were becoming impossible to ignore. His powerful physique, once a monument to athleticism, was beginning to show its age. The speed that once defined his play was noticeably diminished. The Yankees, while still a dominant force, felt the change. Their lineup, once invincible, had a noticeable vulnerability. The team, and particularly its manager, became increasingly reliant on younger players, and the strategic roles for the aging slugger became less frequent. This wasn't a sudden shift, but a gradual transition mirroring the Babe's own decline. The younger players, talented and ambitious, clawed their way into the spotlight. While respecting their elder statesmen, their play showed an undeniable eagerness to seize their moment. Ruth, ever the consummate professional, quietly accepted his changing role, recognizing the natural ebb and flow of athletic careers. His unwavering support for the team was evident. Newspaper reports frequently highlighted his positive attitude in the dugout, and even though his at-bats grew fewer, his advice to the young players was highly valued and actively sought. His final game, however, wasn't a subdued farewell. It was a chaotic mixture of anticipation, nostalgia, and the bittersweet acknowledgement of an ending. The stadium was packed. Fans, old and young, had come to witness a piece of baseball history. The air crackled with emotion, a collective farewell to an era. While he didn't hit a monumental home run in that final game, he did manage a single that sent a ripple of excitement through the crowd. It was a moment that transcended mere statistics a testament to the enduring power of the Babe's legend. The newspapers were profuse in their coverage of this occasion. Entire sections were devoted to Ruth's career, a nostalgic journey through years of record-breaking home runs, electrifying plays, and unforgettable moments. They showcased the public outpouring of affection, the heartfelt tributes from fellow players, and the tearful goodbyes of devoted fans. Retirement, however, wasn't a complete withdrawal from baseball. He remained deeply involved in the sport he loved, transitioning into a role that used his charisma and experience. His post-baseball career involved numerous exhibition games that showcased his hitting skills to new fans. The reports of these games are telling, often balancing respectful appraisals of his skill with an acknowledgement of the undeniable physical changes. These exhibitions became almost legendary in themselves, not for the sheer power of his home runs, but for the nostalgic appeal of seeing the Babe in action. One last time, he became a roving ambassador for the sport, a beloved figure who continued to inspire young players and thrill fans. He played a crucial role in promoting baseball's growth, particularly among younger audiences. He held clinics and gave speeches, sharing anecdotes and insights that captivated audiences everywhere. He didn't just impart baseball knowledge, but life lessons, weaving together themes of hard work, perseverance, and teamwork. The media enthusiastically covered these events. The articles chronicling them highlight not just his participation, but also the profound impact he had on the people he interacted with. His post-retirement life was a tapestry of public appearances, endorsements, and moments of quiet reflection. He reveled in his newfound freedom, enjoying time with family and friends. But the shadow of his baseball legacy never truly left him. He often spoke of his experiences, his voice filled with a nostalgic blend of pride and humility. He acknowledged his flaws and the controversies of his past, but he also spoke fondly of the camaraderie he shared with his teammates and the joy of connecting with fans. The newspapers chronicled his public appearances, his charity work, and his reflective moments. He was no longer just a baseball player. He had transformed into a national icon, a cultural touchstone whose life captured the imagination of millions. Ruth's reflections on his career, as recorded by contemporary journalists and later biographers, reveal a man deeply aware of his legacy. He spoke of the pressure of expectations, the weight of fame, and the constant media scrutiny. He spoke also of the unwavering support of his family and fans, and the deep-seated love he felt for the game. His introspective moments weren't just about recounting his triumphs. They were also about grappling with the complexities of his life. Newspapers reported on these reflections with a degree of sensitivity that was notable. They went beyond mere recounting of anecdotes to explore the emotional depth of his insights, often focusing on his humble reflections on his status as a legendary figure. His retirement was not a solitary event, but a complex process involving multiple interwoven narratives. There was the personal narrative of an athlete coming to terms with the end of his playing days. There was the narrative of the Yankees, adjusting to a new era without their legendary slugger. And there was the collective narrative of fans worldwide saying goodbye to an era. All these elements were meticulously documented by the newspapers and magazines of the time, creating a rich and multifaceted account of a pivotal moment in baseball history. These accounts were not simply dry factual accounts, but emotional portrayals that mirrored the varied experiences and feelings of those touched by Ruth's career. His impact extended far beyond the number of home runs he hit or the games he won. He transcended the sport itself, becoming a symbol of American ambition and resilience. He was a cultural phenomenon who captivated audiences with his charisma and talent. He was a man of contradictions, at once flawed and inspiring. He embodied both the grandeur and the frailty of human nature. His enduring legacy isn't just in the statistics, but in the way he inspired future generations to pursue their dreams. With passion and determination, his story continues to resonate today, reminding us that even legends are human, and that their achievements are only a part of the larger story of their lives. The Babe Ruth story, as told and retold by the media, transformed from simple sports news into a national narrative, a testament to the human spirit and the enduring power of the American dream. The impact that he had continues to resonate in the world of baseball and beyond. The legacy of the Babe isn't just a matter of record books and statistics. It's woven into the fabric of American culture, the decades following Babe. Ruth's retirement witnessed a complex interplay of triumphs and tribulations for the New York Yankees. While they continued to field competitive teams, a persistent undercurrent of frustration and near misses began to permeate their narrative. The curse of the swap that never was, a phantom specter born from the hypothetical trade that never materialized, cast a long shadow over their achievements. It wasn't a literal curse, of course, but a potent symbol of missed opportunities. And what might have been? This intangible burden manifested in unexpected ways, subtly shaping the team's trajectory and influencing the perceptions of fans and analysts alike. The 1940s saw the Yankees secure several pennants. Their powerful lineups still capable of delivering impressive victories. Yet, even in their triumphant moments, there was a palpable sense of something missing, a feeling of incompleteness. Close games were frequently lost at the last minute, seemingly defying logic and probability. Celebrations were tinged with a nagging unease, the feeling that luck had somehow abandoned them. Newspaper articles, while celebrating the team's success, couldn't help but allude to this persistent undercurrent of disappointment, suggesting that the Yankees were destined to always fall just short of their full potential. The ghost of the unrealized trade haunted every season. The 1950s brought a new generation of Yankee stars, names that would etch themselves into baseball lore. Yet, even with the likes of Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra solidifying their positions as icons, the feeling of being shackled persisted. World Series wins were achieved, but they lacked the effortless dominance of the Ruth era. A sense of struggle, a constant battle against an unseen opponent, colored even their greatest victories. The commentators of the era seemed to recognize this unspoken tension, often noting that the Yankees' triumphs were hard-won, often secured despite rather than because of fate. A new generation of fans grew up knowing the Yankees as a team perpetually, fighting against a tide of ill-fortune. This perceived struggle didn't just impact the players on the field. It also affected the team's management and the organization's overall approach to the game. Risk-averse strategies started to dominate, a reflection of the collective belief that the Yankees were cursed. Trades became far less aggressive, reflecting a fear of jeopardizing the team's already precarious position. The spirit of bold innovation, once central to the Yankees' identity, seemed to wane under the relentless weight of this invisible curse. The impact on the fan base was profound. Yankee Stadium, once the scene of boisterous celebrations, began to echo with a growing sense of apprehension. While fans still flocked to the games, the enthusiasm was noticeably different, a mixture of loyalty and anxiety. The cheers were less exuberant, the jeers more pointed. The curse, whether real or imagined, created a palpable tension that hung over every game. Newspaper coverage of Yankees games in this era reflected this, with columns often addressing fan anxieties and the increasingly widespread belief that the team was perpetually unlucky. This narrative solidified itself in the collective consciousness of baseball fans. The Yankees' struggles were no longer simply attributed to individual performances or managerial decisions. They were increasingly framed within the narrative of the curse. The legend grew, feeding on nemesis and moments of unexpected misfortune. This solidified the Yankees' identity as a team perpetually fighting against an unseen adversary. Their victories, hard-earned and tinged with a lingering sense of precarity. It was a narrative that was, itself, powerfully shaping their destiny. Through the next decades, the Yankees experienced periods of relative dominance, interspersed with unexpected setbacks. Each pennant win was celebrated with a mixture of relief and apprehension. The specter of the curse always lurking just below the surface. A World Series victory became less of a certainty, more of a battle fought against both opponents and the intangible pressure of history. The media's coverage reflected this evolving narrative, blending factual accounts of games with increasingly sophisticated analyses of the curse's supposed impact. The Yankees' identity became intimately intertwined with this narrative, shaping the team's public image and even its internal dynamics. The curse, even in its intangible form, became a part of the Yankees' very essence. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy, shaping expectations, influencing strategies, and affecting morale. The players, perhaps subconsciously, internalized this collective anxiety, leading to a cycle of self-doubt and sometimes to underperformance. The front office's decisions were often weighed against the backdrop of the curse, creating a cautious, almost fatalistic approach to team building and management. The impact on team spirit was significant. The relentless pressure created by the perception of a curse created divisions and eroded confidence. The curse of the swap that never was less about a supernatural entity and more about a shared psychological burden. The constant expectation of failure and the weight of past missed opportunities affected player morale, leading to instances of self-doubt and inconsistent performances. This aspect is documented in numerous journalistic accounts and players' memoirs, highlighting the pervasive psychological influence of the curse on the team's overall performance. Yet, throughout their struggles, the Yankees never truly gave up. Their enduring resilience, the unwavering loyalty of their fans, and their inherent determination to overcome adversity reflected the spirit of the team. The struggle to overcome the curse became a part of their story, weaving a complex narrative of ambition, resilience, and the enduring power of belief. The narrative of the curse became as integral to their identity as the pinstripes themselves. The Yankees remained a team worth following. Their journey not just about winning and losing, but about the continuous battle against an unseen enemy, the weight of history and the burden of expectations. It was a compelling narrative that continued to captivate fans and shape the team's identity for generations to come. The curse, in a strange twist of fate, became a powerful symbol of the Yankees' enduring spirit. The departure of Babe Ruth, while undeniably a seismic event in baseball history, did not signal the end of the Boston Red Sox's competitive spirit. Quite the contrary, in fact. While the Yankees grappled with their perceived curse of the swap that never was, the Red Sox embarked on a new era, one marked by a quiet, persistent strength that built upon the foundation laid by Ruth himself. His legacy, instead of being a weight, became a springboard, inspiring a new generation of players to strive for excellence and build upon his achievements. Asterisk. The 1920s and 30s, the years immediately following Ruth's departure, saw the Red Sox cultivate a unique team identity. They weren't trying to replicate the Babe's thunderous power. Instead, they focused on building a team characterized by shrewd pitching, consistent batting, and a strong defensive foundation. This shift in strategy reflected a deeper understanding of the game, a realization that sustained success wasn't solely dependent on individual brilliance, but on cohesive teamwork and strategic depth. This era saw the rise of several key figures, who, while lacking Ruth's explosive charisma, possessed their own unique talents and contributed significantly to the team's consistent success. Players like Cy Williams, a versatile outfielder known for his powerful hitting and exceptional fielding, became fan favorites, symbolizing the team's new approach. Managers like Joe McCarthy, known for his strategic acumen and ability to foster team unity, guided the Red Sox through this transition period. His emphasis on discipline and teamwork created a strong team culture that transcended the individual talents of any single player. The Red Sox's success wasn't solely based on strategy. It was also rooted in their ability to identify and nurture emerging talent. Their scouting network, constantly on the lookout for promising young players, contributed significantly to the team's consistent strength. Unlike the Yankees, who, burdened by their perceived curse, tended towards cautious, risk-averse strategies, the Red Sox exhibited a more aggressive approach to player development and acquisition. They weren't afraid to invest in younger players and give them opportunities to showcase their talents, creating a pipeline of future stars. This willingness to take calculated risks paid off handsomely, ensuring a steady flow of talented players into the Red Sox system. The 1940s witnessed the continued success of this strategy. While the war years disrupted the league, the Red Sox maintained a level of competitiveness that belied the uncertainty of the times. Their consistent performance was a testament to their deep roster and the sound management that characterized their operations. The team found ways to adapt to the challenges posed by the war, demonstrating a resilience and adaptability that further strengthened their legacy. Their success wasn't merely about winning games. It was about building a sustainable model for success, a model that extended beyond the individual brilliance of any single player or manager. The post-war era saw the Red Sox embrace new technologies and approaches to player development. They were among the first teams to fully utilize advanced scouting techniques and implement systematic training programs, further refining their approach to player development. The combination of meticulous scouting, innovative training methods, and the commitment to team unity allowed the Red Sox to overcome the challenges of the changing landscape of baseball, further solidifying their position as a perennial contender. The 1950s and 60s marked another era of impressive success for the Red Sox. While the Yankees continued to be a formidable opponent, the Red Sox consistently challenged them for supremacy, demonstrating their enduring strength and competitiveness. This prolonged success wasn't just about winning championships, but about establishing a consistent pattern of excellence. The team's commitment to developing young talent, combined with shrewd managerial decisions, ensured a continued supply of skilled players. The success of these decades wasn't built on one or two superstars. Rather, it was a testament to the depth of their roster and the ability of the team to perform consistently at a high level. showcasing the power of sustained talent development and consistent team building, even in years where they didn't win the pennant. The Red Sox consistently fielded strong and competitive teams, providing their fans with exciting games and a sense of continuous engagement. This consistent competitiveness generated a loyalty and passion among their fans that rivaled and, in some instances, surpassed that of the Yankees. Their dedication to their community also played a significant role in building a strong and lasting connection with their fan base, creating a powerful synergy between the team and the city of Boston. This era of Red Sox baseball showcased the true impact of sustained commitment to building a strong organization. It was a legacy built not on fleeting moments of brilliance, but on decades of consistent excellence. While the Yankees were embroiled in their internal struggles, amplified by the specter of their unrealized trade, the Red Sox steadily built a dynasty based on solid foundations, smart decisions, and a commitment to a winning culture. The Red Sox's story became a counterpoint to the Yankees' narrative, showcasing an alternative path to success, a path built not on individual stars, but on the collective strength of a well-run organization. It was a testament to the enduring power of teamwork, consistent talent development, and strategic vision. The legacy of Babe Ruth, rather than burdening them, served as a foundation upon which they constructed a new era of sustained success. The Red Sox's success in these decades wasn't just about winning games. It was about building a brand, establishing a culture, and connecting with a community. They became more than just a baseball team. They became a symbol of Boston itself, embodying the city's grit, resilience, and unwavering spirit. This fostered a powerful sense of loyalty and connection amongst the fans, creating a bond that continues to define the Red Sox to this day. The team's commitment to philanthropy and community outreach further strengthened this bond, transforming the relationship between the team and its fans into something deeper than mere fandom. It was a relationship built on mutual respect, shared values, and a collective passion for the game. The Red Sox's narrative stands in stark contrast to the Yankees, illustrating that sustainable success in baseball, much like in any other field, is less about a single spectacular moment and more about sustained effort, smart strategy, and a commitment to building a robust and resilient organization. Their story reminds us that true legacies are not built overnight. They are forged through years of dedication, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. They prove that a team's identity isn't solely defined by its superstars, but also by the character, commitment, and culture that underpin its long-term success. The Red Sox story is not just about baseball. It's a compelling narrative of organizational excellence, community engagement, and the enduring power of sustained ambition. The absence of Babe Ruth, far from crippling the team, became a catalyst for their own unique and lasting legacy, demonstrating that enduring success can be forged on foundations built as much on teamwork and strategic vision as it is on individual brilliance. In the grand tapestry of baseball history, the Red Sox's enduring dynasty stands as a compelling testament to this enduring truth. Reverberations of Babe Ruth's unparalleled talent extended far beyond the diamond and the confines of American professional baseball. His legendary status, built on prodigious home runs and a charismatic personality, transcended national borders, becoming a catalyst for the globalization of the sport. While the Sultan of SWAT never personally toured the globe, playing exhibition games in the way some later stars might, his image, his statistics, and the very essence of his playing style became synonymous with baseball itself, paving the way for its international expansion. Newspapers across the globe covered his feats, transforming him into a larger than life figure whose legend ignited imaginations even where the game itself was still relatively unknown. The burgeoning popularity of American culture in the early to mid-20th century played a significant role in this process. As American films, music, and literature gained traction worldwide, so too did its national pastime. Ruth, as the embodiment of American sporting prowess, naturally became a central figure in this cultural exchange. Images of him crushing home runs, his powerful swing captured in grainy photographs, graced newspapers in Japan, Cuba, and even parts of Europe, sparking curiosity and igniting a desire to learn more about this seemingly magical game. The impact wasn't solely driven by the media. American servicemen stationed abroad during the World Wars played a pivotal role in spreading the game. Baseball games became a source of camaraderie and a link to home in foreign lands, introducing the sport to local populations and sparking an interest that would endure long after the troops returned. These soldiers often improvised equipment and played on makeshift fields, demonstrating the adaptability and resilience of the game, making it accessible even in the most unexpected environments. This organic dissemination of the sport, woven into the fabric of military life, was crucial in establishing a foothold for baseball in countries where it had previously been unheard of. Asterisk. The economic aspects of baseball's global expansion were equally significant. The growing popularity of the game led to the establishment of international leagues and tournaments, generating revenue and fostering economic growth in various regions. In Latin America, for instance, baseball quickly developed into a hugely popular sport, with robust leagues and a passionate fan base that rivaled them in some cases, surpassed the enthusiasm seen in the United States. The economic benefits derived from stadium construction, player contracts, and merchandise sales became a significant source of revenue, creating jobs and contributing to the overall economic health of these regions. The emergence of baseball as a significant economic force further solidified its position as a truly global game. The cultural impact of baseball's global spread was arguably even more profound. Baseball, more than just a game, provided a common ground, a shared cultural experience that transcended linguistic and national boundaries. In many countries, particularly in Latin America and East Asia, baseball became a symbol of national pride and identity, fostering a sense of unity and collective purpose. The sport became a vehicle for social mobility, offering opportunities for talented individuals from diverse backgrounds to achieve success, further integrating it into the social fabric of these societies. Consider Japan, where baseball, initially introduced by American servicemen, quickly blossomed into a national obsession. The Japanese professional leagues, known for their high level of play and passionate fan base, stand as a testament to the enduring appeal of the game. The deep-seated passion and fierce competition are directly linked to the cultural values of discipline, teamwork, and precision that are deeply embedded in Japanese society. Baseball's integration into Japanese culture demonstrated its remarkable capacity to adapt and resonate across diverse cultural landscapes. Similarly, in Latin America, baseball's popularity is deeply intertwined with the cultural fabric. The fast-paced, exciting nature of the game resonated with the passionate and expressive Latin American spirit, leading to a unique style of play that has shaped the game globally. Many of the world's most talented baseball players hail from Latin America, a testament to the dedication, skill, and rich baseball culture prevalent in the region. The rich history of baseball in Cuba, for example, where it has been a dominant sport for generations, is a testament to its enduring influence. The economic and cultural impact of baseball's global spread isn't just limited to established leagues and national teams. The sport also played a role in fostering international diplomacy and promoting cultural exchange. International baseball tournaments and exhibitions served as platforms for promoting understanding and cooperation between different countries, transcending political and ideological differences. The shared love of the game acted as a unifying force, demonstrating the power of sport to bridge cultural divides. However, the global spread of baseball was not without its challenges. The dominance of American professional leagues often overshadowed the development of baseball in other countries, creating an imbalance in resources and opportunities. This disparity, reflected in the flow of talent from smaller leagues to the major American leagues, highlights the need for a more equitable and sustainable model of global baseball development. Addressing this imbalance would ensure that baseball's global influence continues to flourish in a way that is inclusive and representative of all participating nations. Babe Ruth's role in this global phenomenon is undeniable. He was not just a great baseball player. He was a global icon whose legend paved the way for the game's international expansion. His powerful swing, his legendary home runs, and his larger-than-life persona served as the catalyst for a global fascination with baseball that continues to this day. His influence reverberates through the passionate fan bases across the world, the thriving international leagues, and the shared cultural experience that baseball represents. His legacy transcends the boundaries of the game itself, leaving an indelible mark on the global cultural landscape. The story of baseball's global expansion is, in many ways, the story of Babe Ruth's enduring international influence, a story of cultural exchange, economic growth, and the unifying power of sport. It is a testament to the game's remarkable capacity to transcend borders and connect people across the globe through a shared love of competition, skill, and the simple, timeless thrill of a well-played game. The legacy of the Babe continues to resonate on the fields of play around the world, ensuring his enduring impact on the global expansion of baseball.